What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 280. And boy, what a sports week it has been. Full of highs and lows and emotions all around. Well, you know what? We're not gonna even waste any more time. I'm gonna tell you what's on deck, and then we're gonna get right into it. Your boy Aaron Rodgers finally landed in New York. Lamar Jackson finally got paid. Giannis had a long response to his elimination. We might discuss the futures of the NBA teams that were eliminated this week. The NBA, NFL draft came and still going on, and we got to talk about that. The NBA playoff recap, we're going to get into that. We might get into the Braves report if we have more time. Let's not waste any more time. Let's get started. Woo! Episode 280.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Red and Red Sports Show featuring Coach. Red and Coach are coming to you live from the ATL show, giving you real sports talk because we are real sports fans, who are real sports athletes, who have what, gentlemen? Real
sports
knowledge. So hang out with your boys, Red, Coach, for episode 280 of the Red and Red Sports Show. And as is our sports custom, we're going to turn our numbers attention for Coach to give us something or someone that's related to those three numbers: 2, 8, and 0. Cross your fingers. Hope you are alive.
Oh, shit.
Who Coach is going to share today.
It don't matter. You don't even have to go to the solo screen. This is the easiest one of all. 280, the man who had led the league in reception for 2 years, my personal friend, my college buddy. We went to school together. We hung out. Hey, it ain't got to be anybody but the greatest of all time at wide receiver, number 80, Jerry World Rice. That's all. Hey, this one too easy.
Oh my goodness, Jerry Rice.
We ain't got to go far for this one.
And where did he go to college?
Mississippi Valley State University, baby.
All right, Mississippi Valley State. So,
did you really hang with him?
Yes, sir. Man, that's my dog.
Okay, cool. I like that.
Well, maybe we can get him to be a sponsor.
Yeah, for real. You can get him on the show one day.
I need to talk to him then, see if he can sponsor. I don't know where the money lies, but we'll see.
Yeah, Jerry ain't doing no TV shows with his bored himself these days. He can come on our show.
It's all good. It's all good. As always, we got to welcome Revenite Nation to the.
What's up, Nation? Hope y'all there today. Y'all left us last week. Y'all back today?
Somebody checked in real quickly, so I think we got some folk who are tuning in. Let's see who we got. The VP is in the building, slamming down the gavel. What's up, brother VP? The Prez.
The
executives are here today. The Prez is here. Jerome giving himself a name, Coach Case. Oh, yeah. Oh, the VPs did catch me, man. I forgot the second part. Yeah, I almost coached the intro. You're right. I'm like, we're giving real sports talk.
That's
we are real sports fans. Yeah, I was a little rusty this morning. The VP is on it. You can tell he's been on and watched the show plenty of times. What's up? Good morning to you, brother Tony. Jerome gives us a good morning. No swearing. There we go. This is a curse-free show because if we swore, our guy that we call Red would be all over. Good morning, brother Martin. Glad to have you. The VP. Yeah, the Steelers, they're like Georgia Light with their drafting.
And, they got Darnell Washington?
Yeah, they did. They got Darnell Washington.
Damn.
And they got Broderick Jones, the offensive lineman. It's something going on in Pennsylvania. My spirit of Georgia has come over to Pennsylvania.
Here we go.
Because they know how to build teams out there.
For sure. What's up, Joe Black? Going on, and then VP.
Purgatory.
Maurice Throw, I heard you got some issues with me, and I'm sure Case is ready for that topic. I'm ready to give y'all some of that heat, for sure. Jerry cheated off coach's pay.
African history.
could be an official fan of the show. Reverend Night Nation is in the easy. Pastor Melvin Watkins, my colleague, my dog, representing Memphis. And I'm good. I'm sure you probably want to see what we got to say about the Grizzlies.
Yeah. Stay on the show, Pastor Watkins. I want to hear from you.
Rev must have jet for sure. For sure. I've been traveling too much. All right, and Joe Black, extend your hand. All right, gentlemen, y'all know how we do this thing. Let's get right into dope coke moments. Reverend Night Nation, y'all can feel free to begin typing in whatever whatever are your dope, nope, and coke moments for the show. We'll be happy to read them after we finish our dope, nope, and coke moments for the week. So, Coach, we'll start with you, and then we'll go around the horn. What you got, Coach?
My dope moment goes to one Bijan Robinson. When they asked him what would he do with his money, his first check, he said, and I quote, "I'm going to pay my tithes to my church, and then I'm going to buy my mom and dad a nice house so they won't have to worry about it." You don't hear that anywhere, and I'm sure the media won't play that because that goes against the grain of what they used to listen to, but I liked it. Bijan Robinson gets my dope moment. My dope moment.
It's one of those moments, Coach.
It's dope.
You dope. All right, Red doesn't like to pick. I don't think he's sleeping on what you said, but he doesn't like the pick that the Falcons made. But anyway, what are you doping on, Red?
I'm doping on one. I'm doping on the Colorado Rockies. Why? Because they released Jose Urena. You remember Jose Urena, the guy who was constantly trying to end Ronald Acuna's career when he was with the Marlins? Yeah, that Jose Urena. Guess what? Jose has had a real nice career since the Marlins cut his high ERA butt. Went from two teams and got cut by both of them. Latest team, the Rockies. So bye-bye, Jose. Take your 9-point whatever ERA and get out the game because you're not needed. Trying to hurt my boy, trying to kill his career early on where you fail, just like your pitching career. Fail. Good job, Rockies. Get rid of this guy. Don't belong in the game. Bye-bye, Jose. Dope.
All right. I am doping on one, Paolo Banchero, who was named Rookie of the Year for the NBA, becoming the fourth Duke Blue Devil to win that esteemed honor, joining the ranks of Warren Grant Hill, Elton Brand, Kyrie Irving, and now add Paolo Banchero, Rookie of the Year, to go along with those other great Duke players. That's my dope moment for this week.
Wow, wait a minute. Paolo went to Duke?
Yes, sir.
Jason Tatum.
Let you know how out of the loop I am. I had no idea that boy went to Duke. I knew he was the number one pick. I knew he was a good player. I don't remember what college he went to. I thought it was like Kansas State or something.
Nah, he went to Duke, brother.
Okay, good job, Paolo.
Red?
Okay, my note moment goes to the MLB for no longer allowing my Braves to wear their big hats during their home run celebrations. God, you got to hate on our moments. You knew we were gonna be wearing that big hat and representing proud. All them home runs, we were gonna be hitting. Just had to take our big hats away. But okay, you want to use the big hats for your original MLB brand? Fine. Braves have to find another celebration. But good, could you have told us early on? We got kind of used to it, MLB. All them home runs we hit. I love to see that big hat going for Ozzie Head or some of those other Braves, but nope to MLB hating on our home run celebrations. And no, well, I'll say that for later.
All right. I am noping on two players for the Memphis Grizzlies. One, Ja Morant.
Thank you.
Off the field or off the court, shenanigans really derailed the team during the regular season and carried over to the playoffs. And Corey Dillon opening his mouth, shut your mouth, be happy you're in the league, because now Memphis Grizzly fans even want you out of Memphis. So I'm noping on Ja Morant causing the team to spiral out of control,
You mean Dylan Brooks?
Dylan Brooks. That's the football player. That's right.
Yeah, I was gonna tell you, real.
Dylan Brooks. Let me say it. My mother used to make me do it when I messed up back in the day. Dylan Brooks, Dylan Brooks, Dylan Brooks, Dylan Brooks.
Corey Dillon, like, man, what I do?
Yeah, Corey Dillon, that was a bad football player at one point in time. But Dylan Brooks messing up with his big mouth, saying stuff that he couldn't back up. So that's my note moment for today. All right, Coach, since you're in the correction business, come on and give us your note moment.
Yeah, that's what teachers do, dog. That's what we do. My note moment goes to Marcel Ozuna, who continued to show that your blood alcohol content level is higher than your batting average. I do not understand why he continues to ease his way into the lineup. I know you got to pay him. You paid him a lot of money not to be in there, but when is enough? And then I found out, I thought I knew this, but I didn't, that Sandy Alcantara was part of the deal that got Ozuna here. Oops. That's my note moment.
You have got to be kidding.
All right.
Wait a minute. Sandy wasn't in our organization, was he?
Somehow somebody said that he was part of the Marcel Ozuna deal. I said, what?
Had to be from another team. I didn't know the Braves ain't that dumb to let a pitcher like that get away.
All right, let me go into the cope moment on today. And I'm coping on an uninformed fan base here in Atlanta. I mean,
thank you, Red. Thank you.
Falcons will never reach its potential as long as we have uninformed football fans here in Atlanta. I'm seeing what a real knowledgeable fan base looks like living in Pennsylvania.
Thank you.
They've selected the two players that they selected from UGA. All of them were on one accord because they are all in tune with what the team needs. Here in Atlanta, we have no idea. Let's take whoever is drafted and let's keep it moving.
Right.
Not trying to help the ownership know we're paying attention, and costly mistakes, poor draft choices will have its consequences. So we'll talk about the draft in just a moment, but our fan base is all over the place. There's no consensus. Bad picks, good picks, lukewarm picks. Got folk who are all excited about a pick, then you got other folk who don't know what to feel about it, then you got other folk. I mean, this transient fan base is killing the Falcons' future.
Right.
So this is all I'm going to say is we need some knowledge to the fan base here in Atlanta so they can put more pressure on the ownership. Until then, how many Super Bowls do the Falcons have?
Zero.
How many will they continue to have?
Zero. Big, dumb, stupid Terry. God, Rev, you bringing me into your doggone coat. we need to say this for the meat of the show, the NFL draft recap.
Lord have mercy. Coach, what are you talking about?
My cold moment goes to Cam Robinson of the Jaguars. Son, nobody knew you before you got caught doing PEDs. I guess you thought that was going to be your smoke screen. Don't nobody know you really that much, so you thought you can get away with it. Why are these guys in the NFL and these sports constantly risking their careers to do PEDs and think they're going to get away with it? I mean, it has started to get ridiculous. Now, you costing your team who looking for you to be there at the beginning of the season, now you're getting suspended for several games. Now, they don't have you. That's a hole. You might not win those games, but, hey, me first. Forget the team. So the Jaguars got to cope with this idiot who is going to be suspended in the first few games. Just ridiculous.
Red, what are you coping on?
I'm coping on one Marcus Spears for ESPN. Lord have mercy. How long do we have to put up with this garbage analysis, man. I mean, every day I gotta sit up here and listen to this dude huffing and puffing and pouting and me-mugging folks over every doggone opinion. Marcus, it's called a debate, dude. You're not gonna agree with what everybody say, but do we have to listen to your and ooh and huffing and puffing? And even yesterday, he got up out his seat and just turned his back to everybody. Was looking out into the audience instead of and turned his back to his co-host because he didn't want to hear what they were saying. Dude, it's not about you, Marcus. You're not gonna agree with all opinions. Give your take and move on. Stop making a big deal out of every single person's opinion with your huffing and your puffing and your pouting and your oh Lord and good Lord, dude. Just have some fun on the ESPN set. Jeez, it's not that serious, Marcus, Swagoo, or whatever they call you. Enjoy your little new contract they gave you.
Marcus. Marcus.
I'm gonna say this. I saw one of the things, Red. Now, I'm gonna give him a pass for turning his back. I agree with you all with all that you said in terms of his not always valuing other people's opinion, but he was turning his back because he was mad because the Philadelphia Eagles knocked out the draft.
One up them again.
And they just got better.
Yep.
So, he's a huge Dallas Cowboys guy.
So
that's why he turned his back to the audience. So he wasn't trying to be disrespectful on that round. So I'm going to give him a pass on that. But since he doesn't necessarily give great value to other people's opinion, I'll definitely agree with you on that. All right, let's go see what Revenite Nation has to say. Brother Tony said he's all right with our first pick. First pick. So I guess he's a Atlanta Falcons fan. So we'll see what he has to say later.
Stay tuned, Tony. We'll have to school you, buddy.
Dante Armstrong, what's up, man?
What's up, bud? I know you happy.
Lamar Jackson finally getting his deal, and we'll talk about that a little later. The VP says Dope Mel Kiper being made to look like a fool once again, hyping up Will Levis, claiming that he'll be the first QB off the board. Clown, the president, Bajan is going to be using that mustard money. Dante Armstrong, Dope Moment goes to Houston Texans, drafting both players. They wanted Stroud and Anderson back to back. Yeah. Joe Black doping on Spencer Strider is 9 strikeout games away from tying Nolan Ryan record. Wow. Gray Poupon. Love sounds. You love sound effects? Got you, man. Glad you like it. The president's doping on old man Al Horford. He's still effective.
Yeah.
He did it against the Parakeets. That's the new name for the Hawks. Okay. Maurice Thor dope to all those who were drafted in the first round. Good luck with their NFL careers. The VP says doping on Dylan Brooks not equipping himself with bear mace. Word of advice, don't poke bears without this. LOL. Brother Jerry Lou, who did the Braves have the hat deal with? That company just needs to make the oversized hat. The president says, y'all already know Dylan dummy. He got those 40s and not in a good way. VP corrected me just like Coach, not Corey Dillon. Dylan Brooks' jet lag is killing you. Grant me some grace today. It's a trademark issue. Brother Jerry said they objected because the Braves were not wearing a hat with their label, so the company just needs to make an oversized hat instead of throwing a little sissy fit. All right, Brother Jew with Jerry with the educational today.
Right, Jerry. I'm a dog right there.
Have several seats. Anthony Edwards, Memphis Grizzlies. Joe Davis on the Hawks, moving to Janet Jackson. Let's get eliminated.
Who said have several seats?
Maurice Throw and Open on the Grizzlies. Y'all poked the bear and got crushed. Enjoy Cancun, along with the Milwaukee Bucks and Atlanta Hawks. The president scoping the girlfriend of Will Levis is still hanging around. She in it for the long game.
Yeah, nice.
Even with second round money, not too many people she's gonna date that's gonna have more money than that. So,
she had a nice dress on.
On these moronic players risking their livelihood over nonsense. Cam Robinson is about to lose almost $900 per game for PED violation. Joe Black coping on the Philadelphia Eagles becoming UGA North. I like that one.
That's what they are.
Let's go with the 299th pick. The Falcons select Oda B. McDowell. Maurice Thor coping on us fans having to watch and listen to Mel Kiper, and his constant drooling for one more day. Jerome Case doping on Lamar Jackson securing the bag. Always ask for the dream and secure what you want. Noping on Peyton Manning's overhyped nonsense of Will
Levis.
Levy. All right. See,
Levi's. There you go. That's spelling again.
that's what threw me. I'm like, Levi jeans. Okay. They knew. Coping on the Falcons organization, continuing to do its best to stay at the bottom undefeated. The VP doping on Jerry Porter Jr. legacy pick for the Steel Curtain. Bravo, young man. Go make a name for yourself. Your dad will be proud. The president coached the trade with Ozuna.
Okay.
The Cardinals acquired him from the Marlins and gave them a contract, 2 other pitches, and an outfield
Okay.
in
The
2000.
Cardinals. I was about to say.
Wow.
Special dope by the president, Joey Porter Jr. to the Steelers. I know Coach is happy with that.
Oh,
Jerome
yeah.
Case, MLB has a hat deal with New Era. New Era reported the issue with the oversized hat. Yeah, they spent too much money, so you're going to have a problem with that. Jerome J. Case, we're not. All right. And Jim
We got to start doing commercials now.
NSR Franklin on Snow.
Hey, wait a minute, dude. We're not doing no entertainment stuff. Get out of here. You guys just not satisfied. You want to spoil it all on Facebook, and you want to come on my show and start spoiling it. No spoilers, Jerry. Jeez, you guys want to talk about Snowfall so freaking bad. Like it's just the greatest show around. It's not even the greatest show about drugs. So stop talking about this freaking show like it's the most Emmy greatest show of all time, okay? No Snowfall. I'm sick of hearing folks talk about Snowfall.
That's going to be one of Red's favorite shows.
Rev, you put the
No,
little.
it's not.
Put it
I
back
mean, it's
up there
good,
again, Rev. The
but
little.
go ahead, Coach.
My bad.
Red,
Man, I've been seeing folks all on my page. Snowfall.
in defense to Jer, had Red been a fan of Snowfall, he would have found a way to start talking about it.
No, Rev. I'm actually a fan. I just ain't saw the last 2 episodes. And folks keep
Oh,
spoiling
okay.
it.
So that's why you had
Yeah,
to
and I'm tired of folks like, dang, Jesus Christ. I mean, was this one of the greatest endings of all time? I know it won. Let me see these last 2 episodes. God,
All right.
you good, yeah. I'm just ranting, Jim. You good, buddy.
My bad.
All right, let's move on, man. NBA playoffs. It is cooking right about now. We got some movement. We got some surprises. We got 2 surprises that have happened in the NBA. The number 1 seed Milwaukee Bucks are not in the playoffs anymore. They got taken down by the number 8 Miami Heat. Then the Knicks obliterated the Cleveland Cavaliers. I don't know too many people who had the Miami Heat versus New York Knicks to play in the second round. We know since the last show, the Philadelphia Sixers took care of the weak Brooklyn Nets roster, and now they are set up to play against the Boston Celtics, who finally took out the Atlanta Hawks in 6. They replaced the game. They replaced the game over Janet Jackson at State Farm, and those Janet Jackson fans did be able to go to the show last night. They did one day back. Then out there in the West, Denver finally took care of the Grizzlies in 5. We see that we still got a battle going on between the Golden State Warriors and the Sacramento Kings. Sacramento stepped up and were able to leave a mark in Golden State and said, we're going back to Sacramento. Then we know the Lakers took care of the Memphis Grizzlies, who talked too much. And then what series did I miss? The Clippers. How dare I forget that? Coaches.
I don't know. It's easy.
Finally bowed out to the Phoenix Suns. And unfortunately, for yet another playoff season, they did so because their best player was not available. basically helping us understand the quote is true. The best ability is availability.
Karen.
And unfortunately, Kawhi Leonard
Karen.
does not have that ability. All right, gentlemen, so let's jump right on in here. What's your biggest surprise with the NBA playoffs so far? What's your biggest disappointment? Go ahead, Red.
Well, I have to say my biggest surprise would definitely have to be in Milwaukee getting put out in round one by the Heat. But then again, when you look at it, as my good friend Maurice Thrower has to remind me, that the Heat played the Milwaukee pretty tough. If we not remembering, Milwaukee were eliminated by the Heat in the first round in the bubble. And I think they played them tough last season. So Miami has always been the team that kind of has figured Milwaukee out, has kind of had Milwaukee's number. So I guess if we look back at things, we probably shouldn't be too surprised. But still, I mean, this was a team that got waxed by the Hawks in the play-in. I mean, was pretty much inconsistent all year. Offensive-wise, was a lot left to be desired. Milwaukee, top team all year, best three-point team, one of the best three-pointed defenders, and they just completely got worked. Yes, I know Giannis was out for 3 games, but the one game that the Bucks won was the game Giannis wasn't there. So I don't even know if we should give you that excuse, but I do know Giannis definitely had an impact on the Bucks. But still, this the playoffs. Can't really use that many excuses because Miami played a doggone good series. They played a good game. They had a great plan for the series and they executed it well. In Milwaukee, you guys just choked. You choked. Number 1 seed getting beat by a play-in team. I'm sorry. I understand what you were saying at the press conference, Giannis. We may or may not get into it, but the bottom line, the Bucks choked. Okay, so that was my biggest surprise of the playoffs. My biggest disappointment, really know. I mean, this has really been a pretty good first round. Right? I want to see if I guess I'll say Minnesota, yeah, because you and I took Minnesota. We thought Minnesota was going. I mean, after playing so tough in the play-in and coming down the stretch, playing a few tough games. And having Denver's number pretty much most of the season because they split the season series. I want to say I'm a little disappointed in T-Wolves going out in 5 games to Denver. I just thought they'd give a little bit more fight, at least take it to 6 games, you know. Anthony Edwards, Towns, the young nucleus they got, even with Conley leading the troops. I guess Minnesota just like our money said, they're just a poverty franchise, and eventually Towns. Well, we'll get into it, but that was my disappointment. Minnesota getting put out in 5 games by the Nuggets, and I'll let somebody else talk.
Coach, big surprise, biggest disappointment.
The biggest surprise was 2 things that happened in the Milwaukee-Miami series. Number 1, and I know everybody saw it, a big no call. Jimmy Butler gave a nice little bush push to Pat Connaughton under the goal when he made that shot, and they didn't call it. It happened. They didn't call it. Game goes on. But Giannis on the tip, when they tipped the ball to him, he thought he was playing hot potato and threw the ball away because he didn't want to get fouled and shoot free throws. Now, Giannis, you're a great ball player, but all the greats I know down through the years would take that chance to win the game for their team. They wouldn't throw the ball away. I know you missed 13 free throws, but hey, right at that moment, you got a chance to eliminate all that by getting your confidence up and going to the free throw line and shooting those free throws. But you throwing the ball away and almost throwing it out of bounds and wasn't for saving the ball, you would have lost that ball. I'm like, wow, dude, you got to man up and take those shots. The good players do that. And my biggest surprise, well, soon as I saw Kawhi was out for game 3, I knew it was over. I said, good night. Y'all have a good time. It's over. And he went, and then every day they came with the same thing. Kawhi's out for game 3. Kawhi's out for game 4. Kawhi's out for game 5. And then it's revealed that he had a torn meniscus. Okay. Why wasn't that said at the beginning of game 3? Why you wait till the series was over, and then all of a sudden the big reveal, he had a torn meniscus? Why you couldn't say that at the beginning to take all that negative suspicion off him for him not playing, But hey, it's over with. Now, round 2 finna come up for everybody. Well, still got to wait on Golden State and Sacramento, which I don't know who's going to win that, but we'll get into it. I don't know who's going to win that series because that one is so crazy. I didn't think Sacramento was going to take that loss, to get that win the other night. So those are mine.
All right, Coach. My biggest surprise is, and actually I'm going to just cut it piece it together. My biggest surprise and disappointment are from the same series. My biggest surprise is how the New York Knicks dismantled the Cleveland Cavaliers. I mean, it wasn't even a close series. Donovan Mitchell did not have much help in that series, and it showed the youth of the Cleveland Cavaliers, how Garland, Allen, Mobley, they just need some more experience. Hopefully they'll show up better next year if they make the playoffs again. So that's my biggest disappointment is the Cleveland Cavaliers. If someone would have told me they would have got demolished in 5, I would not have believed it. But that's exactly what the New York Knicks did. And then to make matters worse, Julius Randle, arguably the Knicks' top player, or at least their B player, if you want to say Brunson is their top player, wasn't even healthy. And they still put that work on the Cleveland Cavaliers. So my biggest surprise is how the Knicks dismantled the Cavaliers. My biggest disappointment would be the Cleveland Cavaliers and not really showing up. And I gave them a little bit more credit than I should have. And I know New York fans are going ballistic because anytime the Knicks are making some noise, that fan base is off the chain. All right, real quickly, we know we have some second round matchups. Let's address them real quickly. Let's give some opinions on the matter. We got the Suns versus the Nuggets over there in the West. And then we're still waiting on the second matchup. We got the Sixers versus the Celtics already set. We got the Knicks going against the Heat. That is already set as well. And then we got, we're waiting on the next matchup. So let's start with the Knicks versus Heat. Red, we'll start with you.
Okay.
Give us a prediction.
Well, look, I've admired how the Knicks have balled out. I think the NBA is great when the Knicks are winning and successful. Certain teams that the NBA just loves to be successful, and those are the Knicks, the Celtics, the Lakers, etc. And, teams like of that ilk. Miami, you can add the Heat to them, too, because folks love going to South Beach. So I say the Heat's one of the teams that folks love to see in the thick of things. Real, like we took a trip back to the 90s, man. Dixie Heat, remember that was the big series?
Remember against Alonzo Mourning?
Yeah. The classic fight, Jeff Van Gundy hanging on to Alonzo Mourning's leg and stuff. We gonna have Coach Tibbs hanging on to Julius Randle's leg or something. When Coach Spoelstra come over there and get up in his face, man, I don't know. I anticipate. You know what, Rev? I think I'm gonna anticipate a more exciting series than we initially think. Because look at it, you got two teams that nobody really anticipated much from this year. The two teams that have great fan bases and extreme history. And you got Jimmy Buckets on one side with Bam. You got Jalen Brunson on the other side with Randall and RJ Barrett. It's like he's been balling a little better lately. And you got the subs and they got the role players around them, the big guys for the Knicks, the Quigleys and the Omaris and then the Robinsons. And you got the heroes and the Struces and the Duncan Robinsons and the Lowrys in Miami. So honestly, I think these are gonna be an even matchup all around. It's just gonna depend who got the hot hand on any given night. Red, I'm gonna be honest with you. I wouldn't be surprised if it goes 7 games. I just wouldn't be surprised if it goes 7 games because you got two respectable teams, two good coaches. Both teams is gonna fight to the death unless the Knicks come out there and ain't balling one day. They might just get blown out. But don't turn your back on the Heat and Jimmy Buckets, and don't turn your back on Jalen Brunson and the Knicks. Man, what he has done, what he did to the Cavs by the Mavs by leaving, and what he has done to the Knicks by coming is just a whole 180-degree turnaround. So good job, Knicks, for making that pickup. And I think this is gonna be a hard-fought, competitive 7-game series.
What's your prediction?
My bad. My prediction is the Knicks in 7.
The Knicks in 7. Coach, are you going along with Red with that prediction?
Almost, but it's going to depend on two things. You're looking at either at Jimmy Butler, can he continue to score like he has, and will Julius Randle actually ever get healthy and in this series? You look at overall, the Knicks got slightly better supporting cast. It's about what starters, but that supporting cast is pretty good. Robinson has come on for the Knicks, but like I said, is Brunson gonna be chasing Jimmy Buckets around? If he is, he's gonna be in for a long night. They better get somebody who they can afford to have to switch it up on him. Got Hart and those guys. They got to switch it up on Buckets because he's gonna be, if he's on fire, they in trouble. I'll go with the rhyme. I'll say Knicks in 6.
Knicks in 6. Red has Knicks in 7. I'm going against both of y'all. Yeah, I'm going
with the Heat.
Yep, I'm gonna go with the Heat in.
Wow,
6.
okay.
I'm gonna go with the Heat in 6 because one of the things the Knicks don't have to their advantage in this series is that the other team is not young. They have experience. They really capitalized against the Cavaliers' lack of experience. The only one who had real playoff experience was Donovan Mitchell. The whole entire Miami Heat squad, they have experience. They have arguably the best player on either team in Jimmy Buckets. He's the most proven playoff player. He's the most seasoned playoff player out of all of them. So Jimmy Buckets, I have more trust that he can play up to his potential in a series more than I have in Jalen Brunson and Randle. And we know that the big guy, his name slips my mind, from Miami,
Bam
Adebayo, he is always consistent.
Bam.
He's tried and proven.
Bam.
I expect him to win his matchup against Robinson in the paint, and then the big white guy that the Knicks bring off the bench. And then Spoelstra is a good coach. Tibbs is a good defensive coach. The problem with the Knicks, they have a lot of guys that are good defenders, like Quickly. You got Josh Hart, who they picked up in a trade from Portland.
Forgot Hart.
But those guys will not be able to really defend Jimmy Buckets on the block because he's taller than those guys. And he's just as strong as those guys. And he knows how to play with his back to the basket. So this is not really a good matchup, in my opinion, for the Knicks because they're not the more experienced team. They don't have the best player on either team. And this smells really good for the Miami Heat to advance into the Eastern Conference Finals as an 8th seed.
The bucket.
Did I convince you all?
It was a good argument. Yeah.
You got the Buckets. Like I said, the Buckets is hot. Like he's been on a roll. If he continues this, hey, that's a flamethrower right there. I guess he got something to prove. He trying to say, hey, we can win this thing. So we'll see.
All right, let's move on.
Okay, go ahead. We can move on.
Let's move on to the next series that we got. Let's stay in Eastern Conference. Sixers versus Celtics. Sixers versus Celtics. We know the Celtics are the higher seeded team. We'll start with you, Coach, on this one. What's your prediction?
It won't take long. Sixers in 4. I'm just playing. I'm just playing.
Give us your real prediction.
I mean, you really. I mean, Joel Embiid, is he going to be ready? If not, they're going to put all the pressure on Tyrese Maxey. They're going to put all the pressure on him, unwanted, because he's going to do his thing. But Joel Embiid, that man in the middle, hey, diddle, he, that's going to be the key, how he feels. Of course, he said he's going to play. The usual, I'm going to play. But I call him Thunder and Lightning. Brown and Jalen, what's the other guy's name? I don't like to call his name. What's his name, Rev?
Jason Tatum?
That's that dude. Yeah, that's him. That dude, Jason Tatum. They got something going. And I can honestly say this one going 7, unless some miracle and somebody gets hot. And I want Embiid to play. I hope he's healthy, because if he is, it's going to be one of the best series in the NBA playoffs. I'm gonna go. Celtics in 7.
Celtics in 7. All right, I'm gonna jump in here. This is not a good matchup for the Sixers. Now, can we stop with this Joel Embiid being hurt? That was a
thank you. I'd be like, what you talking about this health for?
What the NBA did was to save face. Joel, you got a knee injury. So that we don't have to suspend you. So that folk won't be talking about how Joel Embiid got a pass. I was at the Brooklyn Nets Sixers game last week. All right? That's why I wasn't on the show, because I was in Brooklyn. I had to preach in Brooklyn or in Queens last Sunday, so I went to the game.
We remember, Red. We saw the pictures.
And let's just say this. I never see where a person has an injury and they're not even in the building. Joel Embiid was nowhere to be found on the bench. So that lets me know what the deal was. So Embiid is going to be healthy for the series. Embiid is arguably the best player in the series, arguably. Somebody can make a good case about Jason Tatum. But Embiid, let's put it this way, is the most dominant player in the series. But the problem with the Sixers, and I've seen them all year long. Those who won't know, I have half-season tickets along with my mother to the Philadelphia 76ers game.
New fan.
They don't have the size nor the athleticism to stop players like Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. They got a bunch of football players like P.J. Tucker. Name. You got James Harden, who looks like a linebacker. And they just don't have the athletes to be able to compete against players like Tatum and Brown. Tyrese Maxey, they got guys like Marcus Smart who could try to slow him down just a little bit. They could throw Derek White at him to slow him down just a little bit. So this is why I don't like this matchup for the Sixers. I'm pulling for them. I'm going to say it's going to go 6 because I got 2 playoff tickets for this series, games 3 and 6. So I want that. I just paid an extra $100 for these playoff tickets. So I needed to go 6. I'm selfish wanting it to go 6. So I'm going to go to Celtics in 6. I'll be at the game where the Celtics close out the Sixers. Unfortunately, even though I'm pulling for the Sixers, I want to be wrong, but this matchup is just not good for the Sixers. So Celtics in 6. Who you got, Red?
Well, Rev, I hope you're wrong. I mean, I'm going to be right. And I'm taking the Sixers in 6. Yeah, I hear you. I hear everything you're saying about Boston and the athleticism and the beast they got over there. And you might be right, because I'm with you. The Sixers have a different type of athleticism that Boston got. Like you say, Rev, the Sixers have football athleticism, whereas the Boston have more basketball and quicker athleticism. You know what I'm saying? Sixers maybe want to beat you up and break you down that way. Celtics, they just gonna go up and down and use the pace on you. But hey, the Sixers, look, if you get, this is the time now. This is the time. All of the process talk, all of the Joel Embiid MVP talk, and it's time. We got to make a stand. It's time for us to win a ring. Well, hey, if you can't get by the Celtics, then it's all for nothing. So you're going to have to get by the Celtics. You understand that? And you're going to have to beat them at home in 6 games. Now, you let my Hawks take the Celtics to 6 games. Philly, you have got to take advantage of the flaws of this team, this green trash that everybody keep hopping on. Yeah, Tatum and Brown, yeah, those guys are good players. But come on now, Sixers, you got Harden and Embiid and PJ and Tobias. I got my contract and then I disappeared Harris over there. You got Melton, you got Maxey. Well, look, we're going to need all them guys to step up because this is the series. This is the time. You got the NBA MVP over there. Come on now. Don't let these boys do you up again because I don't know what type of mindset Embiid is going to have. If he get beat by the Celtics again, man, he might just give up. He might just say, look, I can't do it over here in Philly. Y'all just going to have to trade me to the West or something because I can't get past Boston. Not in Philly. So, man, this series might be it all for the process. Because if Embiid get eliminated by Boston again, look at this green trash showing up right on time. Right on time, Mitchell, ain't you? Well, that's right. Right on time to see me dog your boys out again. I'm taking the Sixers in 6 round to get rid of that green trash. And if the Sixers don't do it, don't you worry, baby, because the Heat will. And if the Heat don't do it, don't worry. Somebody in the West will do it, Mitchell. Your team is not getting that 18th ring. Do you hear me? You will not get that 18th ring. Not this year, not at all, not ever, okay? I'm done. Sixers in 6.
All right, man. See, I'm going to have to pray for you and Coach because y'all won't be objective sometimes. Y'all bring your other stuff into the matters. Like, you don't want the Celtics to win because that would be they would take a step ahead of your Lakers if they somehow win another championship. So that's basically what your commentary is on. You don't want them to get to the next round.
Well, no, I think the Sixers got a decent chance to eliminate them. A decent chance. I mean, they got the MVP.
A decent chance. All right, we'll go with that, man. Your opinion is your opinion. God bless you. Pass red, my blood pressure, man. The Celtics have too much debt in the end, and that could be a possibility as well.
Sure.
All right,
that's a good point.
Let's go to the Western Conference matchup. You got the Suns versus the Nuggets.
The Rich Creamies.
The Nuggets are the number 1 seed. This is going to be interesting. Red, it's on me this time. This is going to be a tough series, barring no injuries. I'm going with the Suns in 6. Jokic, great regular season player, but when we get to the playoffs, he fades. And you got 2 proven ballers. Well, 3. I'm only going to go with 2, though, because Chris Paul's getting up in age. But Kevin Durant is a proven player, and Booker is a proven player. They are arguably the 2 best scorers on the court.
King Booker.
And Ayton is going to do just enough to propel the Suns to victory. So I'm going to go with the Suns in 6, and Jokic will once again fade away into the sunset because he's just a great regular season player but not a great playoff player. Ray, who you got?
Man, Ariel, you made a good argument. Oof, this is tough because I'm like, I don't really have no respect. I mean, I don't think Denver's all that. But I know if you sleep on them, they can hurt you. And I also know how top-heavy the Suns are. And like I said, somebody go down, that could hurt them. Man, woo-hoo-hoo. You know what? I'm going to be smart with this one. I hope I'm wrong. I'm going to take the Nuggets in 5.
Yo.
Coach Coach, is Red giving us comedy today, man?
Yeah, that was an interesting take.
Hold on, Coach, before you go. How did you come to 5?
I don't know. Because I think the Nuggets are going to show up every game, and it might be a game that the Suns, look, Booker and Durant and CP3, they really are going to have to show up every single game to get through these guys. I was say, I've seen these guys play. Yeah, they may seem like they only got Jokic, but Murray and Porter and those guys around them, sleep on them, and they'll destroy you. And the Suns were struggling with the Clippers with nobody. They had Russell Westbrook in most games. They had to fight to come back and win. Yeah, they won, and Booker took over some games. It's just the way the Suns play and the way Denver play. We'll see. Hey, I can be wrong. Look, Red can be wrong. If I'm wrong, I'll come on here and say I'm wrong. But the Nuggets are too top heavy and really one injury away from getting swept by Denver. So Booker, Durant, I hope you bring it every single game, because if you don't, you're going to lose. CP3 can't bring it. It's going to have to be all on YouTube. Aiden, what's Aiden going to do? Going to go do with Nikola. Might get work. So, like I say, it's all on Booker and Durant. Any game Booker and Durant don't show up, good luck, Phoenix.
So let me ask you this, because obviously Revenite Nation is just going in on you with that selection. Let me ask you this question.
Go ahead.
Who do you have more confidence? What duo do you have more confidence in? Durant Booker or Murray Jokic?
Durant Booker is the best duo, but it's also an inconsistent and injury-prone duo. Like I said, that's all I'm saying.
Barring injuries, we know injuries.
Barring injury, Phoenix should win in 6. Barring injury.
All right. So, I appreciate you.
Yeah. I'm going out on a limb a little bit, but I just know.
A limb would have been Nuggets at 6 or 7. You said Nuggets at 5. That's a big limb. That's okay.
I may be on that tightrope, that little tightrope wire there. Okay, I got my arms held way out there, so if I slip up, I may be able to catch myself.
All right, Coach, give us your expertise, sir. Who's winning this series and why?
It's going to be the rich, creamy Nuggets in 6, because the Sixers. Let me go and say 7, because here's the thing. The minutes thing is going to hurt Durant, Booker, and CP3. Those minutes they keep adding up. 40 minutes a game. Can they maintain that pace and keep winning? Can they beat the Clippers? Yeah, they won. But can they maintain trying to play 40 minutes a game when you look to the bench and you see Cameron Payne in street clothes? Those other guys who shall remain nameless come in there. Torrey Craig comes in there and does a little something, and they like, okay, yeah, he hit a couple 3, he gone. You know, it's just you just gotta that bench for Phoenix. You gave up everything to get Durant, so Durant gonna have to play. But like you said, Rev, your point was valid about the duo, but looking at the overall, I'm gonna have to go Nuggets in 7.
All right, well,
you said 6 at first, though.
Yeah,
no, I'm looking at the longer it goes, the worse it is for Phoenix.
There's some truth to that. Let's just remember though, no back-to-backs in playoffs.
Good point.
So that's something that you have to think about it. That's why the Lakers could really make some noise, because you don't have back-to-backs. So that's something to think about. All right, gentlemen, we're gonna go right into halftime right here. I've caught a few audibles, so y'all bear with me. But thank y'all so much so far for watching the first half of the Red and Red Sports Show. We've given you a lot of basketball. We gave you some football. We've given you our dope and open coat. And we got some other things to talk about later on in the second half of the Red and Red Sports Show. More football. And
have we talked about the draft yet?
We're going to give you the draft.
Oh, okay.
We're going to give you some draft. And Lamar Jackson is coming up. Lamar Jackson is coming up.
Don't forget about these Lakers.
As TD Jakes will say, get ready, get ready, get ready. We'll be right back.
Get ready, y'all. The best topics in the second half. Ow!
And we're back after halftime on the Real Sports Show. And we're going to get ready to talk about baseball real quickly. Let's slide in this Braves report real quickly, and then we're going to jump in to football and we'll come back to a little basketball, the future of some NBA teams. So, Red, get yourself ready, man. We're coming your way for the Braves report. Are you ready, sir?
Okay. I think I am.
All right. Let's get ready to do it. Here we go.
It's game time. It's GT.
What's up, everybody? Well, to this week's Braves report. Let's see. It's been such a slow baseball week. I've been all into the football and basketball thoughts, but don't worry, I keep up my Braves. I know we had 5 games this week. Went 4-1. Got rained out last night in New York, but we went ahead and took that one 4-0 in 5 innings. Sorry, Mets, you got to get on us early when you're expecting bad weather. But we went on to handle the Marlins after getting swept by the Astros last weekend at home. Lord have mercy. Braves bounce back like they usually do, like the chump killers they are, jumping on the Marlins, beating them up bad for 3 games. They lost the season ending the day game. But overall, we bounced back from a bad Houston series. The bats woke up again. The pitching, okay, Morton's doing his thing. Elder got roughed up a little this week, but Fried and Strider. Oh, and that's what I wanted to. I had a coat with Matt Olson on my coat. I had his name written down there, and I couldn't remember why. Now I remember why. Matt Olson ruined Spencer Strider's no-hitter the other day with that fluke defensive play. Come on, Matt. But okay, doing what you're doing, I will let that go. But God, Matt, man, was this close to a no-hitter. But anyway, like I say, Spencer Strider's balling. Max Fried, he dealing. You saw him last night. Look like both of these boys going for Cy Young. So even Wright bounced back from a bad start last week. I think he had a few scoreless innings versus the Marlins before that rain delay caught us. So overall, it was a pretty consistent week with the bats and the arms. We just got to keep it going because we got another big game with the Mets this weekend. Then we go down south to Marlin. Maurice, I know you're waiting on that one. So overall, Real, looking good. First place, 18-9, and like we doing good on this journey for the 3rd ring so far.
I just want to add, it's time to really start evaluating the closer's role.
Oh God, AJ Minter, awful.
Is injured, but Mike Minter is not doing the job. AJ Minter's not doing the job. He actually cost the Braves in 2 of the Astros games.
Right.
The Braves were up in that against the Astros, and he coughed up leads in those games. And then the Braves should have had a perfect week this week.
Right.
But doggone, he coughed up a 4-0 lead in the ninth inning against the Marlins on Thursday's afternoon game. So the closer's role is the shakiest part of the team right now. We see the depth. We've had Denard out for some time. Arcia's been out for some time. My namesake just came back. Michael Harris Jr. Kid is not a son. He came back last night, and we see that the fielding and the outfielder, they're still good. We see they got quite a bit of depth, but that closer's role is really concerning me. And Iglesias not having any timetable is concerning me as well. And, we don't know what kind of pitcher he's going to be when he comes back. So,
but you know who we got, though.
What's that?
I said, you know who we got, and he ain't gonna sit. He just not gonna sit up there in that press box and allow this thing to happen. He gonna notice what you notice. He gonna look around the league, and he gonna go make a move because like I know that our GM ain't gonna let that our closer's role be the reason we don't do anything.
Sure.
AJ, you keep messing up again, and you gonna be out. Alex gonna go make a trade. Somebody else gonna be in. And that's what me and Rev love about Alex, is that he makes moves. He don't sit back and I'm saying one thing is not going to be the downfall of us.
That's for sure. He may mess around to get 2 closers.
Right.
Exactly. Like he did one year. He went and got the year that the Braves had problems with the closing. He went and got 2 different closers.
Right. We had problems with the outfield. He went and got 4 outfielders.
Yeah, got 4 outfielders. So that's a good point, Red. He's going to make something happen. The only bad move that AA has made so far this year, or since he's been here, is the Ozuna 4-year contract. Ozuna now, I was listening to some Brave Sports Talk this morning. Ozuna is the worst ranked player in the major league.
Is the worst what?
Worst ranked player.
Oh, okay.
In the entire major leagues, 315.
God, I mean, he on our team, our great team, got the worst player. We got to get rid of this guy. And he got a World Series ring on top of that.
He has 1 more year left after this show's contract at $15 million. So
I think he'll be able to. I think Alex will be able to trade it this year.
Kept the wrong one.
Ain't nobody taking that contract for
so you should have kept Soler and gave Ozuna away.
Well, they had Ozuna on contract. That's why Soler not here no more.
Yeah.
Because they had Ozuna already on contract. So, man, you add Soler to this lineup. Oh, my goodness. Lord have mercy. All right,
that's my boy right there.
Let's move on. We're going to go to the NFL draft recap. Red, your boy Jerome had a little jokey joke for you. Red couldn't remember if they talked about the draft. All right. And Maurice Thor is happy y'all got Soler. The Marlins have Soler. All right.
You ain't won nothing with them.
Here we go. Red, Coach.
Oh my God.
So just to let everybody know, Coach is a diehard Pittsburgh Steelers fan. Red is a diehard Atlanta Falcons fan. I am an emotionless Falcons fan, a big supporter of Patrick Mahomes. And the Philadelphia Eagles are starting to really touch my heart because there's some people in Pennsylvania at the First Baptist Church of Passtown who must be praying hard for their pastor to become a Philadelphia Eagles fan because I am a huge Georgia football fan. And what have the Philadelphia Eagles done the past 2 years? They have drafted 4, not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 of the top Georgia Bulldog players who won championships. So they are really messing with my heart right here. When you got 4
they messing with mine too.
Lord have mercy. So I may have a little green coming into my system that I'm not ready for, but they're really coming to my heart right now. But nevertheless, we're gonna start with Coach first, because as you can see, Red is gonna have probably a rant for the draft ages. So, Coach, your team got a little Georgia fever as well. You all picked up our top offensive lineman, Broderick Jones, in the first round. Then you get our big tight end, and I mean big, in our boy number 0. What's his name, Coach?
Darren Washington.
Darren Washington, big
Darnell Washington.
Darnell.
That's right. Darnell Washington coming to us, came to Georgia from Nevada. And now, hopefully he can stand the cold because he ain't never experienced no cold like Pittsburgh. But with that being said, Coach, Rev is going to switch to his third team. So here we go. All right. All right, here we go. Coach, what kind of grade would you give your Steelers so far?
If I had to give him a grade, I'd give him I'd say A-. You addressed every need, and I do mean every need. They thought they got the luck of the Irish by they picked Jones in the first round, and everybody was saying, "Oh, you should have got Porter. You should have got so and so." And look who fell at number 32, Joey Porter Jr. Thank you all for passing up on him. We'll take him. Thank you. Then we move on. How did Daniel Washington fall way down there and nobody picked him up?
Darnell.
Darnell, I keep calling him Darren. I'm thinking about another kid. I used a coach named Darren Washington. I'm sorry. But I want to thank y'all, everybody, for passing by him. Steelers got him. Thank you very much. Then they went and got the defensive tackle that they coveted. His name escapes me right now. I'm going to find it. They addressed every need because the tackle they got, he jumps right in there with Cam Hayward to teach him. I'm like, hey, well, I mean, how can you beat that? How can you beat that draft? Steelers did what they're supposed to do.
Where does the minus come from, Coach?
Huh?
Where does the minus come from? You gave him an A-.
Well, they were saying that Washington is hurt. I don't know where that happened. They say
he always hurt.
That's why he dropped, because he's hurt. But that's okay. We want we thank him. And again,
so you giving him a minus for picking up Darnell Washington because he was hurt?
Well, I would say that I don't want to be greedy and go A+. I'm gonna go A. Okay, I'll say A.
Okay,
with no minus. I'll say A.
I just could because you said they did everything they needed.
Yeah, I'm like, how's that an A-?
But nevertheless, all right. Coach,
Coach, one day you'll know what it means to be a fan of a failing team. I mean, you just don't know how to appreciate a team like the Steelers. Come here talking about some A-, but they did everything, every move we got. All the moves we needed, they got A-. You want? Is it my turn?
All right, Red. Let me set it up. It is your turn. At the Falcons, drafted running back Bijan Robinson from Texas. Second round, Matthew Bergeron, offensive tackle from Syracuse. Third round, Zach Harrison, edge rusher from Ohio State. What is the grade for the Falcons first 3 rounds, Red?
What's lower than an F-? Because if it is, Terry, this is what you got, dude. And Ray, let me start off this by asking you a few questions. Before this draft happened, and you saw all of the draft needs at the bottom of the screen when they say needs for each team. Coach, you saw your needs, you saw my needs. When they say Falcons draft needs, did anybody see running back or offensive tackle as the first 2 needs? Because I would love to know if you saw running back and offensive tackle for the first 2 needs for the Falcons. Okay, I understand why you are satisfied right now. But if you did not think running back and offensive tackle were the first 2 needs for the Falcons, can somebody please tell me why these morons on the Falcons fan base are celebrating these 2 awful and asinine moves? Can somebody explain to me how we going to the draft saying, what'd you say, Coach?
I'm telling Rev, get the music ready. The rant is coming. It's coming.
Stop throwing me off, man. Okay, you're right, though. Can somebody explain to me how we go into a draft with the moves, knowing we need edge rusher, cornerback, linebacker, maybe even a wide receiver down the line. How do you take a running back and an offensive tackle, two things on your team that really is supposed to be secure? You had 1,000-yard running back last year. You got Avery Williams, Caleb Huntley. I know he's a little banged up, but you still got Cordell Patterson on your roster. You bought 2 offensive linemen back and signed another one in the offseason. And the first move you make in the draft is to go get another running back? Yeah, I know Bijan Robinson went to Texas. He's supposed to be the best running back in the draft. So freaking what? Did we go for the best quarterback in the draft? Did we go for the best tight end in the draft? Or are we getting best player available? Or are we drafting for needs? Because if we drafting for needs, Terry, I have absolutely no idea what Joe moronic is doing. Okay, thank you for the beat. I mean, dude, this is ridiculous. I mean, if you want to look at what you did in free agency, sure, you bought in a few solid players. Sure, you signed Bates. It was a good, definitely a need in our defensive backfield. But Terry, the draft is for you to take care of all the other things that you need. And when you look back and see the Falcons' sack record and sack numbers are the worst in the NFL, and on number 8 pick, when you got literally Jalen Carter sitting right there, a big, massive defensive guy that would have helped your defensive line. You got what? You could have got Miles Murphy, an edge rusher from Clemson. You could have took a stretch with Nolan Smith from UGA at number 8. Do you think any Falcon fan would have been upset with you if you drafted Nolan Smith at number 8? Yeah, we would have said it was a stretch, but dude, you would have been okay for you to reach. I mean, not only reach, dude, you jumped up to the clouds. You ran and got a 4-star and did a pole vault and jumped up to the clouds and reach for that running back from Texas. Dude, are you out of your mind? You got these idiot Falcon fans saying, well, I like the pick. Well, it might be the right pick. Well, we signed all those defensive guys. So maybe Terry, what we're doing. Terry is a freaking moron. He is a freaking moron, guys. You don't have a running back that you draft in the 6th round, gain 1,000 yards, and then your first pick at number 8 be a doggone running back. That is completely asinine and stupid. But we're talking about the Atlanta Falcons, so why am I surprised? Asinine and stupid and the Falcons go together.
Red, you're spot on, because that's what I was going to talk about. You just had Algier that you picked in the 5th round last year, who ran for 1,000 yards, plus arguably the best Falcons player is a dual threat running back and wide receiver with Cordell Patterson. So now you add Robinson to one of your strengths that you already have on the roster, and you have other needs. And you had Jalen Carter right there. And when the Falcons did pick up Jalen Carter, and that's because of his past, and Arthur Blank is still tarnished because all that stuff that happened with Michael Vick. And until Arthur Blank gets healed from that debacle, the Falcons will not make any progress. And really, it's at the point where Arthur Blank needs to start thinking about selling the team.
Really?
If he's going to operate the team based upon being wounded, he's never going to help the Falcons, because you're going to have guys who have a tarnished past. You're going to have guys that may get in some trouble. It is what it is. You got to develop a culture of winning, or a culture of experience where you can help navigate such guys who may have a plague pass. That's what the Eagles said. The Eagles said the Falcons didn't get Jalen Carter. Let's move up. We have the culture. We have the veterans. And then we got all these Georgia football players that are going to help maintain Jalen Carter, because we know Jordan Davis has experience with them. We know what's the linebacker's name?
Nakobe Dean
has experience with them. And then on the latter part of the 1st round, let's get good old Nolan Smith, who knows how to contain.
But that's you got these morons.
A culture to be able to take players like that, and Arthur Blank is killing the franchise when he's still operating from a wounded standpoint. Mike Vick been out the league for years now. It happened, man. You got bamboozled. Get over it. You're going to have to get some guys on the team that got some rough spots in their past. And until then, you're not going to get it. But the Philadelphia Eagles knocked it out the box.
Right.
You get 2 culture players, 2 championship players to add to a defense, and this is what Red is talking about. You have needs. The Eagles had to let go of some of that front 7 that they had because they knew they were going to give Jalen Hurts the bag. So what do? They go get Jalen Carter, who's arguably the best player in the draft, most dominant player in the draft, and then they get Nolan Smith, arguably the fastest edge rusher in the draft. And they just reload. And then they get those 2 guys on the cheap. That's the difference between a franchise that is run with excellence versus a franchise that is run in disarray. And
I got one better, Real. How about the difference between a franchise running excellence and what Armani would call a poverty franchise? And Falcons, I'm telling you, I hate to say it because I don't like talking about my own team, but the moves you make sometimes, you resemble a poverty franchise. These moves that Terry made in this draft too. Are you trying to lose? Are you trying to just stay where you at and be this consistent doormat for everybody just to walk over and talk about? Because that's where you at, dude. Hey, Rev, you got fans coming at me like I'm the delusional one. Like I'm the one that can't see. Like I don't know what I'm. Are you kidding me? Terry is the moron. Terry is the one. I don't care about none of these guys we signed. If you can't get the draft right, it don't matter what you do in free agency. Don't you understand that, delusional Falcon fans? The draft is probably more important than the free agency period. You have to draft well as a franchise.
Red, breaking news.
Oh, my God, Red.
Another Georgia player.
Who?
They just drafted Ringo.
The Eagles
just drafted Ringo.
The Eagles killing Georgia.
another guy that was on our. It's like every single defensive guy or player that was on my board don't went to the Eagles or somebody else, a team that we got to play. But yeah, we got these stupid Falcon fans who sit up here celebrating. Oh, we got Bijan Robinson. We about to run out of here, bro. Man, y'all tell you, some of y'all Falcon fans have got to be the dumbest sports fans in all the world. But don't worry, you come on my page, I'm gonna let you have it, okay? Because I know what I'm talking about. Folks that talk football with me, they know I know what I'm talking about. It's you delusional Falcon fans who are going to be exposed, and I'm going to do it. And watch, this team is going to be exposed because Terry Fontenot is a moronic GM who need to take his dumb back to New Orleans and get off of my team because I'm telling you, Rev, Dimitroff wouldn't have done nothing this stupid. Do you think Thomas Dimitroff would have had a running back gain 1,000 yards and then the first guy you pick is a running back?
Question, Rev. Who did the Falcons pick up in the offseason as a defensive player?
They picked up a couple of players on defense.
Who they get at defensive tackle? Play the line.
Some clown from the Saints that everybody was jumping up and down about.
Calais Campbell.
And he about 900 years
old. He about 40 years old.
That perfect storm. Perfect storm. You bring Carter in there. Calais Campbell gets him under his wing. Boom. Next year, and probably this year, Carter starts. Perfect storm.
And see, you're talking like a player, a person that has a team that would make that kind of move.
Right. The Steelers fans.
Steelers would make that kind of move all day, every day.
We the stupid Falcons, coach. You got to remember that. Stupid Falcons.
And on top of that,
GMs.
Ray, you know it. Calais Campbell over here. Grady Jackson. Grady wasn't they over here? Who can he learn from that doesn't know more just about as much as those two?
Coach, You should have seen me at work, man. It's this lady that work on the line next to me, coach. She probably thought I was going crazy. When Bijan Robinson name came to Rev, I promise you, I was jumping up and down on my line, going crazy. Like, what the? I had to put my face mask on so she wouldn't think I was over there talking to myself. I put my face mask on and just started going crazy. Luckily, it was a lot of noise in the building, so you couldn't really hear what I was saying. I was going crazy, like I was cussing, like, how could you? I'm walking up and down my line, going back and forth. I know folks looking at the camera probably say, "What is Red doing?" But if you sports fans, then whoever in the camera would probably say, "Oh, okay, it's the Falcons probably made a dumb move. That's why Red going crazy," because everybody in the building know I'm a sports fan. So, but man. I mean, real, I'm talking about I'm stomping my feet on my line, walking back and forth, cussing like, how could you, Jalen Carter, right there? I just posted. Like, okay, once all the moves that made before us, Rev, I was like, okay, Falcons will definitely have a guy that they can take that's going to help their defense. Even if they didn't take Jalen Carter, you could at least took Miles Murphy, Nolan Smith, some defensive guy on the edge. No, you wait to round 3 and take some Zach Harrison from Ohio State that nobody and their mama had on their board. I don't even think Lamar Jackson mama had him on his board, man. That's how bad. I mean, these picks are. Man, you always picking people that nobody want, nobody never heard of, and you got Falcon fans trying to say, Red, look at the tape. I don't need you losers to try to sell nobody to me. Forget that doggone tape. I ain't looking at the tape. I ain't checking out the highlights. How about this? I'm just going to say, bad pick, you moron, Terry Fontenot. What an idiot.
All right, man. Let's move on to the next topic, man, because we could be on this all long. I must say, Red, there's room for you.
You keep talking it up. I'm about to adopt me a team. I got to adopt me a team.
As Red put a foot on the Eagles bandwagon.
The Philly Bulldogs.
They're working on my heart. They won't surpass Mahomes. Mahomes my quarterback. I'm a ride or die with Mahomes. He saved me from football abyss.
Well, I got to find me a quarterback. I got to find me a quarterback.
Mahomes is going to be number 1. But the Eagles, man, they working on my heart.
Hey.
5 UGA players in 2 years? Lord have
Philly Bulldogs, baby. Watch them.
And the Falcons, who we drafting? Fools from Texas, Big 12, way on the Pac-12, all these conferences that nobody never heard of. I mean, who's Syracuse? I mean, dude, stop. We right here in the SEC, Terry. Are you blind? You are, boy. Woo, man. I want to dog this guy.
Have the Falcons drafted any player from Georgia other than DJ Shockley?
Nobody. No highly. There's always somebody in the lower rounds. Nobody highly tutored.
And why wouldn't you when you see their success? Like that's what the Eagles. Rev, your flock gave you a green cake for your birthday, and you didn't see. He been paying attention. They sure did give me a green and white birthday cake. You're right about that. Rev will be adopted.
The backlot football team of '92.
I bet they can get more sacks than the Falcons, Tom.
But see, the Eagles are so smart. Let's get good culture guys. Let's get guys who came from a championship program, who know how to win, who know how to be coached. That's how you build a winning culture. So you don't have to beg these guys coming in from Georgia to work hard because they know in order to play for Georgia, you got to work hard. You got to be a baller. Oh, my God.
Falcons, right? Like I say, I'm glad the Braves don't do what the Falcons do.
All right, let's jump into this topic that some of these guys know they've been waiting on. Lamar finally gets paid. He gets a big, fat contract. And we know that we had some folk from Reverend Knight Nation who were trying to give it to this panel. So let's jump into it real quickly. Lamar Jackson gets a contract, 5-year, $260 million, including $185 million guaranteed. All right. So, Red, Coach, you go first. Your thoughts about Lamar's contract?
Yeah, really. Let me take a rest a little bit.
Well, I mean, Lamar, you succeeded in your goal to be the highest paid player in the NFL. Yay. Yay. Congratulations. Now, they gave you that money. They gave Odell Beckham $18 million a year, I believe. What else you gonna get? Ravens. What else y'all gonna get? Who else you gonna be able to pick up other than these little draft picks you got? I want to thank them for signing Lamar to that much money, because that means you can't spend that on anybody, on any free agents. Ha ha ha! Congratulations, Lamar. You did what you did, and of course, let me put the caveat in. Oh, he did it without an agent. Yes, yay, he did it. He didn't need an agent to do all this, but I thought Lamar wanted. Well, I thought they said he wanted to get a fully guaranteed, which I knew wasn't going to happen, but he tried that. So Lamar got his contract. Now here come the fun part, Lamar. You know you under the knife. They're going to check you out. Can you win now consistently? Can you get to the Super Bowl? You got the boy from Boston College. You got Odell Beckham, who's one leg short of you never know what'll happen to him. So here we go. Let's see what happens now with all this talk without an agent. Just like Vincent said, he would have got more with a negotiator. Oops. So we'll see. Ha ha. Ha ha ha.
So let's I'm a pastor. Preaching, when you preach from the scriptures, there's a context to the scriptures. So you just can't go freestyling and making the context what you want to, even though some preachers do. So let's understand the context of this conversation. The context of our conversation, when we first started this conversation about Lamar Jackson, and all of us on this panel stated that he needed an agent. It's because he was trying to negotiate, not based upon Jalen Hurts' contract initially, because Jalen Hurts was not signed. He was trying to negotiate a contract based upon Deshaun Watson's contract. So let's put matters in their proper context. That's the bag that he was trying to get. And we do know that because he didn't sign until Jalen Hurts got signed. We do know that. So don't start with all that foolishness, because he wanted a guaranteed contract because the template was Deshaun Watson got the only guaranteed contract. So he was negotiating by himself, trying to get a fully guaranteed contract based upon Deshaun Watson. Put things in their proper context. We do know that. Stop saying that stupid stuff. Because he finally gets signed once he starts negotiating based upon Jalen Hurts' contract. If Jalen Hurts didn't sign, guess who wouldn't be signed right now? Lamar Jackson wouldn't be signed. That's the facts. Jalen Hurts brought back reality to Lamar Jackson. You are not getting a fully guaranteed contract.
Preach, Rev. Preach.
So don't come for me, Jerome Case, because I knew what I was talking about. He did not, and I emphasize and capitalize NOT. He did not get a fully guaranteed contract. He did not, NOT, get a fully guaranteed contract. And that's what the context in which we were speaking when this first came up. Jalen Hurts was not NOT signed at that point when we first had this discussion. So again, preacher Case, he is a preacher. You should know better. We have conversations based upon context. And the context changed. He first was trying to negotiate off of the Deshaun Watson contract. Jalen Hurts sets the bar. So then he negotiates based upon Jalen Hurts' contract, and we see he did not get a fully guaranteed contract. I'm through with arguing with Jerome Case and anybody else who want to come for me. But nevertheless, I'm happy for the young man. I'm happy he had good sense. Once Jalen Hurts got signed, I'm not getting fully guaranteed, so I got to change my strategy. It made it easier for him to negotiate without an agent once Jalen Hurts set the bar.
Thank you.
That's what happened. Red, go ahead.
I mean, Red, you pretty much said everything. I pretty much made the point on my page. You absolutely right. Look,
were you
negotiating on an invisible line, like you're saying. You trying to do what Cleveland. I keep telling folks, Cleveland is a poverty franchise. Nobody is gonna follow their lead for anything. So you even bringing up Deshaun Watson in negotiations, Lamar, was a bad deal. But yeah, be patient. Let somebody else who has a similar game to yours get paid. Now you have a blueprint, okay? Which is what I said. Once Jalen Hurts got played, you have a blueprint now that you can negotiate from. You can walk in the room and say, look, this is what a guy similar to my game got paid, 200 what blah blah, 100 something guaranteed. Okay, I think I deserve. Maybe you don't want to give me the fully guarantee like Deshaun Watson, which, like Real said, you were never gonna get. But you can definitely negotiate a contract similar to Jalen Hurts. Now we see the parameters of it. Thankfully, Jalen Hurts. Thanks Lamar to Jalen Hurts' agent who came up with that contract. Thanks to the Eagles who came up with that contract. Shoot, Lamar work was done. All he had to do was go in there and just present the Jalen Hurts contract and say, just give me something similar to this, and I'm good. And they did. And now he's good. But like I say, don't act like Lamar and his family all of a sudden became smart overnight. Okay. No, they did not. They saw the Jalen Hurts contract, used that as the blueprint, and secured the deal. Like Rev said, simple. Okay, you were never going to get the Deshaun Watson deal. And if you continue to negotiate, trying to get the Deshaun Watson deal, you would have been SOL, still sitting back waiting on your bag. But like Rev said, you finally came to your senses, looked at the Jalen Hurts deal, said, I think that's the route most teams are going. Ain't nobody getting no fully guaranteed, but let me just start to get as much guaranteed money as I can, and I should be good. And you did, and that's why you got your 5-year deal, Lamar. Thank you for being smart. Thank you for realizing your mistakes, and thank you for coming to your senses. All right, moving on. He finally got paid. We don't have to discuss it no more.
I mean, it's just a fact of him, basically finally using his head. Because what did you hear about him? That's like y'all said. I'm just gonna bottom line it. What did you hear about Lamar Jackson every day before Jalen Hurts? Nothing. You didn't hear anything about any progress. You didn't hear anything about any more money. You didn't hear anything about what's his name, Lamar Jackson. Then somebody act like Odell Beckham signing made him turn around. No, it didn't. It had nothing to do with it. That Odell Beckham, oh yeah, I'll convince him to come. No, you couldn't. You didn't do anything. And then Lamar Jackson is sitting there scratching his head. They're about to put him on a franchise tag. They're about to give him $32 million a year and say, take that. That's all you're going to get. But like y'all said, and then I may have to hold back, Red, because I almost said something. And I don't know if you allow me to say it. I don't. That Lamar Jackson was perceived as stupid by this panel. He was perceived as being stupid. And then, we were told we owed him an apology. Who is he gonna see it? Is he watching the show? Is Lamar Jackson watching the show? We owe him an apology. Should we
So
apologize?
I think I was the toughest one on them. So that's the only reason I gave him a apology because I was calling them. But see, it was me calling them dumb, and it wasn't y'all. That was mostly me. That's why I say Jerome coming at y'all. I the one that was saying Lamar was a moron and he was asinine and his family was stupid and stuff with negotiating. That's why I don't remember Real saying
I know
stupid.
that's why I told Jerome pull it up. And I know I didn't say that kind of language.
I mean, that's not even Real style right there. And Coach's style, Coach kind of positive too. So that's why I say I think I was hard on Lamar than anybody, if I remember.
So again, we applaud Lamar getting his contract. Again, Jerome Case. I'm trying to help you understand with context. You should know you're a preacher. Context matters. Our first conversation was based upon him negotiating against Deshaun Watson's contract.
He didn't need an agent. He didn't need an agent once he saw the Jalen Hurts blueprint, Jerome. But you think, oh please, if you think he was getting that Deshaun Watson money without an agent, you are sadly mistaken. Well, he wasn't gonna get it at all, but he definitely didn't have a chance to get it without an agent.
No, the owners were not going to do that. Plus, the agents would not have agreed to that, because if you start giving players fully guaranteed contracts without an agent, guess who's out of business? Agents.
Yeah.
So you know they were not going to be pushing for that because they get no cut. So it worked for him because he had somebody to set the ball. So that's enough with that. We made.
And don't think Lamar family ain't gonna come and get their piece of the pie. I bet she's saying, Lamar, where my money at? You gotta break me off a check right now.
We're gonna
All right, now, Jerome Case, you get the picture. There we go. Now you get the picture. That's what we were saying about Lamar. He was not going to get that guaranteed contract. So now, thank you.
I got a friend of mine who's a serious Baltimore, a serious, a serious Raven fan. Can we get? I think I can get him to get Lamar on the show.
Okay. All right.
I'm gonna give him a call and let Lamar explain himself. And there was another word that was used, but you said stop, so I'm gonna stop.
Yeah,
another word that was used.
We don't want to pile on. We made our point, so there's no need to pile on. So we did. All right, let's move on to 5 for 5. It's that time.
I thought we was already in it.
Different topics. And we got Lamar out the way. Most of them will be basketball topics, but we're going to start with football, 5 for 5. And Reverend Knight Nation, feel free to put your comments in regards to your thoughts about this particular topic. Red and Coach will both get 1 minute to talk about what they have to say. 45 seconds solo screen, 15 seconds wide shot. Once that minute is up, if they're not finished, they will be muted. So let's move forward, fellas. We're going to start with Aaron Rodgers. Lands in New York. Finally, the trade is done. Your thoughts, Red? Go.
Well, it's about time. We got tired of hearing about how the trade was going to go down. We were just waiting for the trade to go down. Well, okay. I mean, Aaron Rodgers following the Brett Favre path. Play multiple seasons, play a decade in Green Bay, and then move on to the Jets. I hope his Jets career is better than Favre's career because he only played 8 games and got hurt. I think the Jets are depending on more for Aaron Rodgers than 8 games. So this is a good move. The Jets really needed a quarterback, so we'll see how it works out. Good move for everybody all around. I think the Jets needed a quarterback like Aaron Rodgers to take him to the next level, and we'll see how it works out. Good move for both teams.
Go.
Man, who cares about Aaron Rodgers? He's going to suck anyway. I'm just kidding. Aaron Rodgers, he's finally happy. Everybody's happy. The Jordan Love era can begin in Green Bay. The Aaron Rodgers era can begin in New York. Now, somebody already predicted that the Jets are going to the Super Bowl. I said, okay, you all do realize that Aaron Rodgers is older. Now, 4 years ago, could have been a Super Bowl pick. But Aaron Rodgers is approaching the upper 30s. So, stay tuned for this one. It'll work out, but it ain't gonna work out with no Super Bowl. Not with Kansas City, Buffalo, and etc.
Let's see what Reverend Nation has to say real quickly in topics. Jets are Super Bowl contenders. LOL. VP says, Aaron, now part of Gang Green, following Brett Favre. Don't text any of the Jets PM person. Yeah, that's funny. 5 for 5. We got it. That's for sure. That's a good play on words, Sis Data. Rodgers went from a good green jersey to a green jersey. The Jets got duped. They got to get ready for that $100 million
Oh boy,
next year.
that's
Wow.
gonna be bad.
The New York media is about to give Aaron the
Diva. Not the diva, the
Well,
diva.
he got to be doing some of this on purpose.
I know, yeah.
He got to.
No,
He got to be.
no.
But here it is, man. The Jets, did they get better? Yes. Are they a Super Bowl contender? I don't see that. Because Rodgers still got to go against Mahomes, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow. That's a monster. And guess what? Aaron Rodgers going over to the AFC makes the NFC even more wide open. I mean, the Eagles probably are the front runners since
Yeah.
they reloaded. But, shoot, they don't hardly have any quarterback that are of the 5-star caliber in the NFC anymore.
Hey, Desmond Ritter gonna be a top 5 NFC quarterback.
And we move on to the next topic. Let's start talking a little basketball. Red, you made a mention earlier about Giannis's response to them losing. And there was some questions about if he believed that the Bucks season was a failure, and he responded in kind that it wasn't a failure. He even talked about how MJ didn't win every season. So would you consider every season that MJ did win a failure as well? So Red, Coach, what says you about Giannis's response to the Milwaukee Bucks season being a failure? What you got?
Good and bad. He made a passionate statement about it, but Giannis, I still go back to when you threw that ball away so fast like hot potato instead of being man up. You're the best player on your team. You're an MVP candidate. You won it before. Show that you are. Get up there, take that responsibility. You got the ball. Let them foul you. Sink those free throws and show them that you are an all-star. Don't shy away from responsibility of being the best player on your team, son.
Red, what you got?
It was a respectable response. I understand why he said it. He did make some decent points in his response. But at the same time, you got to realize, Giannis, the position that you were in. You were the number 1 seed, and you had a great MVP type season, and you choked to a play-in team in 5 games. The press is gonna be on you, man. So you had to expect that. But you answered it as respectful as you could without going crazy. You almost went over the handle, but you stopped yourself. I appreciate that. You gave a respectable response, but dude, the big picture is you guys choked, okay? Failure, I think failure was a strong word. I would probably say disappointment. You guys ending was disappointing. I don't know so much failure, like you say. I mean, the guys don't win championship failures in the league. I don't think they're failures, just disappointing. I think disappointing was a better word, and you guys did choke.
All right. Giannis was reaching like Stretch Armstrong. Y'all still flubbed in the series. Take your medicine, accept the fact that you missed the opportunity to shine. Enjoy Cancun. And at the end of the day, you got to take some onus that we did underachieve. And, he could even say something to the fact, my injury really set the team back. It caused a lot of disarray, which caused this series not to flow like we thought, things of that nature. Jerome K says, look, I could care less about minor misspelled words when Coach talks like a top.
I can spell word better than a toddler, better than you. Preacher man, dictionary preacher.
I meant diva. He said he meant diva. And listen to this. I was Jason.
You probably were trying to capture the eating.
Listen. I was. Not I was.
I was. Come in, please. Please. You're supposed to be a preacher, and you confuse your congregation every week. Come on, man. I
wonder if the J and Jerome Case's name stands for John. All right. He was frustrated, especially after missing 13 free throws. Oh, man. All right, let's move on, man, to the next topic. Let's keep moving. We're talking future of NBA teams. And, Red, we're going to start with the future of the Clippers. What you got?
Oh, well, I think I mentioned this earlier. Future of the Clippers, I would possibly try to move on from Kawhi. I think he's done. If you can convince the team to trade him, I think maybe he had 2 years left on 2 or 3 years. Wow, 3. That's 2 years. Maybe you try to trade him, but moving on from Kawhi is best. You can keep Paul George. I would see about re-signing Russ. Of course, you're gonna keep Tyronn Lue. I guess just keep the shooters around PG and Russ. That's probably the best route you got. I'm not sure how your salary cap works. I mean, I'm not. Can you even afford to bring Russ back? And does Russ even want to come back, or does he want another long-term deal somewhere else? Well, we'll see. But I definitely think Russ should be in the future. He should be in their future plan.
Coach.
It's a stretch, but I'm gonna accidentally, and I'm gonna try it. Bring the whole team back. You had a good ball club. Your bench was solid. You had when they played together, they were pretty decent. Try it again and see what happens. Kawhi is the like Red said, he is the focal point. He's the man. If Kawhi's knees don't hold up, hey, cut bait. I mean, that's the big thing with him. He healthy.
Yeah, I'm at the point where you may have to start over. They may keep it together because they're about to open up their new arena in 2024. So you do want some star power. Problem is, will you have healthy stars going into that building? The other thing when it comes to Russ, you only keep Russ if you keep Kawhi and Paul George. Russ's shooting abilities or lack thereof, they're not as glorified when you have guys who can shoot the rock. Kawhi can shoot the three.
Maybe shoot the rock.
Paul George can shoot the three.
Like
So therefore, that makes Russ's job a little easier because he's not being asked to shoot the three ball. Whatever he does with the three ball is just a bonus. He's just distributing. He's going back to his primary role that he thrived in Oklahoma City with Kevin Durant primarily, dishing the rock. So, and he doesn't have the pressure to feel like he has to score 25 and 30. That's where he gets out of control. Right. So with Kawhi there and Paul George there, that makes his game a lot easier to function. Just saying, I'm a distributor and I can be a scorer when I need to be. When Kawhi might be hurt. When Paul
And like
George.
I say,
If you eliminate Kawhi, I don't think you bring Russ back.
but he fits better with that team because they don't really need, like I say,
Sure.
he doesn't have to worry about on the Lakers. You have LeBron who needs the ball. And you got, like I say, LeBron and Russ being on the same team didn't really fit. But Kawhi and Paul George, they don't need the ball. Russ can come up the court with that ball all on his own. It can be him with the ball. He can make all the decisions. That wasn't happening in LA because LeBron had the ball.
Exactly. For sure. All right, move on. Future of the Grizzlies.
The Grizzlies.
Coach, what's that future looking like?
Duct tape at practice. That's all. So they shouldn't see a microphone they like. They should run like Forrest Gump anytime somebody put a microphone in their face. And that coach should say, our practices are closed for the entire preseason. No cameras allowed. And they just practice on playing basketball. Don't even talk to each other. Only time you do is call plays. Because that hole between their nose has destroyed this team. And then Ja Morant comes out. You know the thing I can't stand, Red. You know, you coach, when your player do something and then they hit the chest. My bad, coach. My bad. I can't stand it. That's Ja Morant now. Yeah, I did things that cost this team. You're doggone right you did. So what you coming out saying it now for? Everybody know it. They talk about Dylan Brooks. Okay, he ran, but Ja Morant, you sabotaged the team for a minute. You and your like
the first time in 5-on-5 history, coach went over a minute. Go, Red, what you got?
Boy, yeah, coach, you had some passion with that one. I agree with coach. You just got to stop talking. Learn how to be humble. and just focus on getting better and winning without all the trash talk. You got to learn. You can't start talking in this league until you actually win something. And being a young up and coming team that ain't made it out the first round, you guys have absolutely nothing, and I mean nothing to talk about. You've done nothing. You won nothing. Keep your mouth shut. Get better. Learn some maturity. And hopefully things will work out for you in the long run. But for right now, it's still all about them Lakers, baby.
Yeah.
All right, here we got a few comments. Dylan Brooks should go poke him. The Grizzlies still have a bright future. They're young and talented. Ja's dad need to be traded to the Girl Scouts. All that rah-rah he does. Fly that to selling them cookies. You're a distraction to the team. Ja, for you to talk so much, that was for Jerome. All right. I'll just add on this. I read a few posts from some people who are from Memphis, and I have to agree with them. They need a veteran. They need a veteran ball player who can help bring some leadership to the team, because Ja Morant is not a leader. He's somebody who can help put him in the right direction mentally and have the team focused. And they really got to think about, is Dylan Brooks more of a hindrance or a help to the team? You know, since he's kind of feeling himself, and you could just kind of sense that he is feeling himself, how in the world do you call out one of the greatest players of all time, arguably the GOAT, and you're going to talk about we want LeBron? You know, if somebody doesn't drop 40 on me, before I start respecting somebody, they got to drop 40 on me, and you got 40 dropped on you in the L Cup. You lost by 40. So that's just absolutely ridiculous. And you see, you got to have a veteran to shut some of that Dylan Brooks stuff out. Because Ja, if he were a leader, he would have told Dylan Brooks, look, man, shut your mouth. We don't need to give this team that has a bunch of veterans and got their top two players as champions, we don't need to give them any added ammunition. But that's exactly what they did, and now they're getting ready to say 1, 2, 3, Cancun. We'll holler at you.
Desmond Bain and Dylan Brooks, both of the light-skinned boys. Shut up.
The Falcons have made a pick. The Falcons have made a pick.
Who they pick?
Clark Phillips out of Utah, the cornerback.
God bless him. No one to the next one. Future of the Hawks. Red is on you. Your Hawks came up short. They gave the Celtics a good matchup, 6 games. Armani was wrong about the Hawks. He said it was going to be a sweep, but the Hawks gave him 6. We know that there's the question if Trey is going to be on the team long term, John Collins. So you're an avid Hawks fan. What should the Hawks do? You got it.
Well, we used to Armani being wrong, so that's no news. I'll just laugh about it. I mean, like what they did come out and say they're not going to trade Trey. So Trey is there for the foreseeable future, and I think that's fine. But the thing is, Trey Young is a star, but he's not a superstar. And I mean, he has to have other all-stars around him for his game and his team to succeed. But John Collins and DeAndre Hunter are not superstars, okay? They're not stars. They're not even solid players to me. They're trash, garbage, okay? Scrubs, subs and scrubs. That's what John Collins and DeAndre Hunter to me. Who got paid? You get these guys 120 for John, 95 for DeAndre, and what do? They help Trey at none at all, okay? You got to get rid of these guys. You've got to get Trey some consistent all-star front court help. You can keep DJ Murray, that's fine. I don't mind that backcourt. But Trey has got to get some help in his front court, or the Hawks just not going to succeed. Trey's fine. Trey can get you there, but he got to have some front court help.
Coach, what you got?
I'm sorry. I'll read what Vincent said about Dylan Brooks.
Oh, okay.
Okay. It's almost like the same thing you said about the Grizz, and I think Red said you might need with the Hawks. They just need one big veteran. You know, Murray came in and, good complimentary piece, but they're just a player short of moving on and doing better. It's somebody they need to put in there. I think they need to get rid of John Collins. W-O-T, waste of time. John Collins, bye. You need to get rid of him. Clint Capella, you hang on for a minute. You be all right for a minute, maybe, barely. But they got some personnel moves they got to make to be able to get to that next level.
I think they need to cut bait, not only with John Collins, but I think they need to get an upgrade at center. You got to have somebody who can score at the end of the day. Like Capella's points are based on putbacks and alley-oops. You got to have somebody who is a threat at that position, who can hit the mid-range shot, who can hit an occasional three in this game now of positionless basketball. So I think they need to move off Clint Capella, get somebody who can score the basket, get off John Collins. If they're good with Saddiq Bey, put Saddiq Bey. He's a person that can score buckets, and he can score a lot more consistently. He's not at the mercy of Trae Young like John Collins is. John Collins either going to just shoot an open three or get an alley. That's about the best he's going to give you offensively. He has no moves. So I think they need to work on getting rid of John Collins, Capella. They did a terrible thing signing DeAndre Hunter. He's a good defender, but you can't pay him that kind of money.
Not that good.
Of offensive arsenal. So the Hawks have some major decisions that they have to make, but they have to upgrade that center power forward position and get some scoring, especially at the center position. You're not good enough. Trae Young is not a superstar, as Red said, to be able to have at least one position on the court that can't score points.
Right.
All right, here it is. Your boy Mitchell, my classmate, says Embiid is doubtful for game one. We'll see what happens. Maurice Thor, go. Y'all take care, fellas. Go Heat. I know he's on cloud now. All right, that ends 5 for 5. That was good information.
Oh, okay, that's it.
Yep, that was it. That was the fifth topic. So let's transition as we get ready to get out of here, as we no longer have 5 on it because we've spent our 5. Let's move on to the You Have the Right portion of our show. Who wants at it first as we get ready to put a bow on episode 280?
Okay. Kings, you got a right to go ahead and prove me right, man. I told you. I took you guys in 7 games, and go ahead and win it at home. You got the Warriors at home. Warriors had a chance to close you out. Now you got a chance to close you out. And, well, no, I guess we'll be going. My Lakers will be going up. We'll be flying up to you on what? Tuesday, Wednesday night? So come on. I know y'all ain't had a taste of this Lakers since 2003, since Shaq and Kobe. Well, come on, Sacramento. We want some more of that. LeBron is still a big deal. We've seen that before. I want to see LeBron versus these new Kings that I've been trying to tell Rev about. Well, Rev, they win tomorrow. You're going to see these Kings in action. I've been telling you about these boys. I ain't worried about them now, but, man, I think Kings and Lakers will be a nice little series to get ready for the second round before we get to the finals and find out who over there. Hey, even if them boys, I'd rather them beat us than the Warriors beat. I don't want to get beat by Steph again, man. I don't pump them boys up. They got pumped up enough while my Lakers was in our down period. But Kings and Warriors, you got the right to give us a great finish, and I took the Kings in 7, so I'm going to stick with that.
All right, Coach, who has the right to do what, when, where, how?
VP, don't slam the gavel yet. We not finished. He's slamming the gavel. We not finished yet. Let's see. NFL draft. There's a change you should make, and you have the right to make that change. Give these teams 5 minutes. Stop giving them 7. Cut it down every day. You had 15 the first night. You had 7 last night. Give them 5 minutes. They should know what they're getting by now.
Yeah.
If anybody gonna watch this all 10 hours of this, you are a diehard football fan. There's no way. But hey, have fun.
All right.
Like all them fans be out there. Like after the first round, it's kind of watered down to me.
All right, and let me put a bow on this. Philadelphia 76ers, you have the right to at least take the Celtics to 6 games. I need to get my money's worth. I got 2 tickets. And 3. So I don't expect you to win the series, but at least take it to 6 because I spent some good money to be there for those 2 games. All right? That is it of episode 280 of the Red and Red Sports Show. Let's see what they had to say. VP now. Is this official news? I don't know exactly what you're
Talking about Joel Embiid.
Talking about Embiid being
I
doubtful.
don't know if it's official. VP, now you can slam down the gavel. Thank you, sir. He had to go. That's why he had to slam it a little early. Dana Glick is yes for NBA.com. And she is cool with that information.
Embiid gonna play. Don't worry.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank y'all so much for watching episode 280 of the Red and Red Sports Show. We'll be back for episode 281 on next week, Saturday morning at 11 a.m. The president said, Falcons, you have the right to kill redundant cell.
Pretty much.
Good having you, Sister Dana. Know that we continue to pray.
All right, Dana.
for strength.
Thank you, Miss Dana. Love your presence, baby.
All right, everybody have a great day. Until next week, be blessed. Stay out of trouble.
Get your spelling books.
We're out of here. Peace and love, and we're going to show the love that Sister Dana brought back. Boom. And the Philadelphia Bulldogs. That's a new NFL
There you
franchise. Take care, everybody. Have a great,
I need a second NFC team.
great day. Peace.